We've got a whole assortment of stuff going on our planet right now, so let's take a look at a few of them quickly. In the East Pacific, we've got Hurricane Rosa here, and I was going to ignore this, but it turns out I didn't know what I was talking about, because this is going to become a major hurricane and is heading towards the Baja Peninsula, but hopefully looks like it's weakening before it'll get there. Anyway, we'll have a little look at this one. Well, here is our quick look at Hurricane Rosa, and on the left is the National Hurricane Center official forecast, and it has it as a hurricane to start with, and then it intensifies, and where there are M's means it's a major hurricane that's category 3 or higher, and then it weakens to hurricane and tropical storm before moving towards the Baja Peninsula. Let's look at first of all the ECMWF, the European model here, showing the hurricane turning round and a second storm forming behind it, but you can see this Rosa here weakening and then heading into the Baja Peninsula as a tropical storm. To compare with the European model, here is the Global Forecasting System model, and it also takes the storm here on the left and curves it round and takes it into the Baja Peninsula. Looks like it's keeping it as a somewhat stronger storm, a stronger tropical storm, most likely at landfall, although it does look quite strong. Then there also is a second storm behind it, so both the models are consistent with producing a second storm, which will be, I suppose, an S name to the storm. Right, enough of the northern hemisphere. Into the southern hemisphere, we've got tropical storm Luia, which formed over the Solomon Islands, and the Solomon Islands are this group of islands here. But this storm isn't really doing that much and is heading off in this sort of direction and not strengthening. So we're going to move on from this too. And we jump back to the northern hemisphere, this time in the western Pacific, where we have Typhoon Trami. And Typhoon Trami is a category 2 system that's been barely moving for about 2 to 3 days now and has been churning up the ocean like crazy and probably cooling it a lot. And it has got this big wide raggedy eye, and it's heading up towards Okinawa and then towards Japan. And the issue is that it is heading away from the waters it's cooled and heading towards warmer waters, where it might strengthen a little bit before passing over Japan. Here is the official forecast from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and the thing to note here is that it starts as a 90 knot system and then it goes up to 100 knots here, 105 knots, whoops, and that is 29th at 6C, which is down here, and then at the 30th at 6C it's back down to 100 knots. But that means it is making landfall on the main islands of Japan as a potentially 100 knot or category 3 system. Here is the GFS forecast for Trami, and Trami is this system down here, and as we go forward in time it comes up, and these little islands down here are the Ryukyu Islands, and it's passing essentially over or very close to Okinawa and then moving up the island chain and then moving in towards Japan, and then it moves over Japan and along the length of Japan and even into Hokkaido, which is where I am, and then moving on up. Now, as the storm approaches Japan, watch the central pressures. There it's 942, 942, 942, 939, 941. So it's not weakening as it approaches. In fact, it's making landfall as a significant system, and because of its track along the island, it looks like a potentially quite significant event. As a comparison, here is the European Center model, which also takes it on a similar track and passes it up the Japanese islands. So it's looking fairly confident now that this is roughly the track it will take. Meanwhile, over the Mediterranean, it looks like there is something brewing as a cold core upper level jet stream trough has dipped down over the seas and actually caused some flooding over Tunisia yesterday, I believe. And judging by the model forecasts, which are now coming into agreement, it looks like a subtropical storm may form within this region south of Italy and potentially go into Greece. But we'll keep an eye on that one. Alright, that's a quick update, and please let me know in the comments if you like this sort of thing and want to see more. Or if not,